Hello, happy Friday. I hope wherever you are that you and your loved ones are safe and well, that you're having a good week and a good day. I'm sorry I didn't film before today. It's been a rough couple of days, and I was going to try to power through it yesterday, or Wednesday rather, but then I realized, no. And by Thursday, I had a very, very high pain day yesterday. And I just knew that was not going to happen yesterday either. So I thought, you know what? You get a blog possibly later today or this weekend, and a video on Friday. So there we have it. I have had trouble sleeping. Newsflash, what an exciting burst of new information. Not. But I haven't been sleeping well, and so my legs have been really bothering me. My back is all amped up, and then my feet and my lower legs. And so it's just my biggest things yesterday in the laundry list were my lower back, my lower legs, my feet, would unbearably uncomfortable. I was like limping around the apartment when I got home, and I saw my doctor yesterday morning, which was good. And so I put on those paper shorts so he could examine my legs, because they get swollen and they just burn, and it's like in certain spots. I'm not comfortable today, but today's much better. And so like I would have rated yesterday, that stupid flipping pain scale, like a 7 or 8 out of 10, which is not my norm. But the pain was just elevated, and not sleeping and just being super uncomfortable. And so when he examined my back, he said that, like, we know this, I have scoliosis, I have arachnoiditis, I have the section of my back around L5S1 that has the hardware in it. And so the muscles get very, and then I have problems with the sacroiliac joint on both sides, which have also been acting up. So yay me. Just like a circus act of nightmare. But anyway, so he examined my back. He said the muscles are really tight, but he said, he wanted to give me a muscle relaxant. And I said no. I said I really didn't want it, and I don't want to add extra meds. And he also asked if I wanted to up my pain medication, which I didn't, because I thought, no, I don't want to do that, because I've got myself at a level that works for me, and I don't want to adjust that too much. And so he had one of the fellows with him who was super nice, and I was trying to explain to him, I said, I've been on these meds for a very long time, and I'm at a level that works for me, and I don't want to go up, because then I have to work my way back down, and I don't want to do that. But I take a half of one of them. Like I take full dose, half a dose, and then full dose. So every 6 hours I'm doing something. And so I take the half dose at dinner time. So what I've been doing is taking the other half. So that's like my breakthrough medication right there. And so I took that over the last few days, and that's, I guess, helped take the tip of the edge off. I don't even know what it's done for me, but I've done that. And so I told him that. I said I would take my other half. And so he was happy with that. And my back, he said the muscles are super tight right now, which is why he wanted to give me the muscle relaxant, but I didn't want to do that. And they offered me, I can't remember what kind of injections they are. And the fellow, before my doctor had come in, the fellow asked me about doing the ablation. And so I explained to him, I said, I can't. That's the one thing I cannot do. The one time I did it, it was very traumatic. And he said, no, I understand. He was so nice. We were talking about when I had the Medtronic pump, and I told him that I felt like the morphine sort of reset my nervous system, even though I'm not on it anymore. And he said, yeah, that's possible. He is the only person besides my doctor that has ever agreed with me on that. Everyone else is like, well, that's not possible. And I said, and it's funny, I said, it also stopped my period for almost 7 years. I said, which was amazing. And I said, but then, and I told my doctors that at the time, and they all said, no, that didn't do that. It wasn't the pump. And I'm like, and yet when it stopped, guess what came back? Much to my joy. I know I've talked about that before, but it's like, yes, it's possible. And he said, yeah, it's possible. He was just like, I said, you're a breath of fresh air, because most people look at me like I'm making things up, in terms of my theories about the things I've had to do and whatever. And he's like, no, you're absolutely right. So I was like, interesting. So my doctor comes in, I'm like, he's pretty good. He listens to me and was agreed with, and he said, yeah, he's all right. I was like, I'm just amazed. So that was refreshing to not be talked down like, no, that doesn't do. My doctor has not done that. He's amazing. But other doctors that I've explained that to, I'm like, well, this is what, and they're like, no. Okay. And what else? So when I got home finally, my pain was out of control. And I took a shower and he had asked me about compression stockings. He said, can you wear compression stockings? And I said, I can't, because that amps up the pain in the rest of my leg. And it doesn't help me. But then I remembered my Via socks. And I was like, I haven't thought about them because they're knee socks. And it's obviously been hot. And so I'm not wearing knee socks. But I said to him, wait, but I have Via socks. And so he said, okay. I said, these are amazing socks. Da, 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 da. So I came home, took a shower, and I slathered my legs in ketamine and lidocaine, compound cream, and then I put lidocaine ointment on my feet, on the bottoms of my feet, which were like, and then the tops of my feet, and I put my Via socks on. So when my husband came home last night, I had on a different black t-shirt, black shorts, my black knee socks, and he said, well, you're going to play soccer, which cracked me up. And then I thought, this is like a really attractive outfit, so... No one will ever see me in shorts in real life. None. Other than my daughter, my husband. I'm not a shorts person. I don't like shorts. I'll wear them like for pajamas and stuff and like around the apartment, but like I'm not wearing them in the street. That is never going to happen. So yeah. So my professional soccer career will not be able to happen. So there's that. But I think I mixed myself up on what I wanted to tell you. But yeah, so by the time filming and writing and everything came up in my head, I was thinking, I can't do it. I almost filmed yesterday when I got home, but I just wanted to sit down and try to elevate my legs and not be in so much pain. I took the express bus into the city yesterday. My sister had recommended that, and I'm glad I did it, because the subway seats, when you can get one, they're very hard on my back, and I deal with, like, I'm sitting there and I'll be okay for a little while, but then I start to have to move because there's no back support, and at least on the express bus, the seats are a little more comfortable. And so that was a plus. But then I had to take the subway home because I had to stop at my pharmacy on my way home. And so, that was the other thing I wanted to talk about. Since we've moved, my regular pharmacy that I've been going to for 20 something years, or probably most of my life, because it's back where I grew up, I was thinking about switching to a pharmacy closer to where we live now. And my husband said he didn't think it was a good idea because we can rely on this other pharmacy. They're like, really, they've been established for like 100 years old, or something like that. They've been here for forever. And the pharmacy I was thinking about going to is a newer pharmacy, and they're super nice. They've ordered things for me. They're the ones that have my B2 like right there available. I don't have to like wait around to get that. And they're just really nice. And so I went into them the other day and I asked the pharmacist, are you able to get, I have to get some of my meds mail ordered. That's the rules of my insurance. I can't avoid that. But a couple of them, like the Lipitor, my methadone, that I have to get in person, and also my lidocaine ointment has to be in person. And the ketamine lidocaine combination compound cream has to come from a compound pharmacy in Manhattan. So it's like all over the place. So the pharmacist was so nice, but she said to me that they could order it, but I would be the only person getting methadone there. And she said, because they're brand new. And she said, and if they start ordering controlled substances, especially as a new, not long established pharmacy, she said that they get eyes on them and it's difficult, but they could do it. And she said, would I be able to get my Lipitor there also? Now, I think I told you guys the last time I got my Lipitor filled, my doctor was able to get a 90-day supply, and so I don't need that yet. And so she said, I mean, we can do it for you, but we'll have to order it, and it would be good if you could switch your other prescriptions here also. She said, we can do the lidocaine cream, no problem. But she said, but it is a little bit tricky. So I appreciated her honesty, because I've been over the years, I've gone to other pharmacies, like 10 years ago when I was like, oh, maybe I'll just do it, near my doctor. And they were like, well, yeah, we can do it. But then it turned out they couldn't. And so it was like, I'd rather have somebody be honest with me and say, no, it's going to cause a problem, or no, we'll have to order it for you, and I don't know when we're going to get it. That was the other thing. She said it might take a couple of days to get it. And so I said, okay, so maybe it won't work this time, but maybe in the future. And and so I just had them send it to my usual pharmacy, and I'll make a trip into my old neighborhood tomorrow and pick it up, which isn't a big deal. I was just trying to save myself a trip. But I would rather people be honest, you know, and just say this is hard for us as a new business, and I'm still getting at other stuff there. They're like a few blocks away, and they did my vitamin B and everything, and they ordered other, you know, stuff for me, and they've been great. And so I'll just stick with what I've been doing. But what else? I think that's it. I'm going to try to get the blog up tonight. If I don't, please forgive me. I might just start to switch to Saturdays permanently because it's just been easier. Just because of the way the weeks have played out. But yeah, I think that's everything. I'm going to leave it there. I hope wherever you are that you have a low pain, no pain, low aggravation, no aggravation kind of a day, kind of a week, and kind of a weekend to come, because that's what we hope for. That's what we deserve. That is what I truly wish for each and every one. Oh, I know what I forgot before I forget. Full disclosure, I told you guys when I got my tattoo that I spoke to my stroke doctor and my cardiologist. I did not speak to my pain management doctor, which kind of surprised my husband, because he said, "What do you mean? I thought you told him." I'm like, because I said, "Oh, I got to tell my doctor about the tattoo," and he was like, "What?" He said, "You didn't tell him beforehand?" I was like, "No." I had talked to my doctor a few years ago when my daughter first drew the design for me, that told him that I really wanted to do it, and he looked at me like, "Are you really going to do that?" And I said, "Yeah, I might." But at the time, I was like, "I'm never going to be able to do that. It's not going to happen." It looks amazing. I love it so much. So I told him yesterday, and we were all wearing masks, but I know when he's smiling and laughing, and he had a big smile, and he said, "That's amazing." And he said, "How does your arm feel?" And I couldn't roll my sleeve up because I had a long sleeve blouse on. And so I showed him the pictures, and he's like, he knows my daughter, and I said, you know, she drew it for me, and I promised myself I was going to try to do it for my 50th birthday. And he said, "Congratulations on doing something you really wanted to do." And I was like, I didn't anticipate that kind of enthusiasm from him, because he's funny. Like, "Really, are you doing this?" And he said, "How does your arm feel?" And I said, "It's fine," which it is. It's a miracle from the tattoo gods. And so he said, "I'm so happy for you. That's amazing." And then we talked about his vacation and our road trip, and I adore him. He is amazing. He's amaze-tasticalness. And I feel like I've paid my dues in terms of dealing with crappy doctors, so I feel like I've earned having a good doctor at this point in this odyssey. But he's above and beyond, just amazing. I love him. I think he's amazing. He's just a sweet, sweet guy, and he listens, and he really tries to help me and pays attention, and he's just a great doctor. But anyway, so he was very enthusiastic. So I was like, wow, congratulations on doing something I really wanted to do. And so there we have it. So it looks good. It feels good. I'm so glad I did it. I'm so glad I was brave enough to. Oh, and he asked me about did it hurt? And so I told him it was not the worst pain caused by needles that I've ever had in my body. So there's that. And he said, "Okay." And he was like, and he started to laugh. And I said, "Believe me, I've had way worse needles." And he said, "Would you do it again?" I said, "Yes." And he goes, "Oh, what would you get done?" And I told him some of my ideas. And I said, "As long as my daughter can draw them." And he was like, "Oh, that's fabulous." He goes, "Well, enjoy it." And I just was like, what? Not expecting his enthusiasm. But anyway, so there you have it. I will see you soonish for the blog, next week for everything. I hope you have a wonderful holiday weekend. I hope you are all safe, temperature-wise, with wildfires, with everything. Please be careful. Look out for yourselves and your neighbors. And I will see you soon. All right. Have a good afternoon. Bye.